welcome you to this broadcast of men's basketball on NKTelco Sports. We're at the Ohio Northern University Sports Center where John Carroll will take on Ohio Northern. Today's game brought to you by the following sponsors: John and Tony's Restaurant, Four Seasons Drive-Thru, Jalapeno's Mexican Grill, Whatever Cards and Games, and NKTelco bringing you today's game. John Carroll and Ohio Northern men's basketball. I'm Dave Helmstetter with me this afternoon. Michael Hearn, and here in just a few seconds they're going to recognize the 5 seniors for Ohio Northern. So we'll be picking that up live here in just a moment. Ohio Northern and John Carroll. John Carroll really off to they're the top team in the OAC, 20-2 overall, and a real powerhouse this season in the OAC and nationally.
12 straight wins. They've not lost in the 2023 portion of the schedule. They lost in Florida, so they've not lost in Ohio in quite some time. But they get so much scoring everywhere. They have 4 different guys in double figures in the last game. They played 20. They just continue to come at you. And they already beat Northern 68-57 back in University Heights in January. And again, that's the thing that I take away about this team, is they will force trauma you to the point where they're only a couple of years removed from averaging almost 100 points a game, and they're still at 86.
Definitely a powerhouse. On the other hand, Ohio Northern University, Polar Bears come into this game struggling just a little bit, to say the least.
Yeah, they've lost 4 straight, got down by 10 in that first half against Baldwin Wallace in that loss, and if it wasn't for CJ Napier's 22, could have been much better, or much worse for them.
Say, there you see one of the seniors that they are recognizing here this afternoon. We want to catch that, and the public address announcer going through the description for these young men.
I was not given flowers.
And head coach Neil Young. Come to think of it, neither was I.
My favorite part is something you'll see in a second. The guy with all the signs.
He has notched a career-high 11 points in Ohio Northern's first game this season at Oberlin. Also notched a career-high in rebounds of 4 against
number 21 senior Heath Jeffries out of Newark, Ohio.
Dedication he's shown to the ONU basketball program. Put them together for Heath Jeffries.
I love that Coach Young is doing a terrific job of this, being the traffic cop. And you can tell all he wants to do is coach basketball.
Has flowers and a nice image of the player. Here's Michael Berner.
Bears, having started in 54 career games, scored a career-high 17 in a win in Wilmington last year, posted a career-high in rebounds this year with 11 in a win against Alma. Mike has also been awarded academic All-OAC every year in his career. He has been an important piece to the program. We thank Mike for all of his hard work and sacrifice he has made for Ohio Northern basketball. Michael Berner.
He's going to have some people after him because he called him Alma.
Yeah.
They're going to be back.
They will. And number 23 is senior out of Wapakoneta High School and Wapakoneta, Adam Scott.
Majoring in marketing with 2 minors in social media and public relations.
A major and 2 minors? Wow.
Bears started 40 games in his career, has a career high in points with 23 in a game against Marietta last year. Also recorded a career high 12 rebounds in a game against Muskingum last year. Adam has been a great leader to the program. We can't thank him enough for his time and energy he has given to the ONU Polar Bear program. Let's hear it for Adam Scott. Up next, number 5, Landon Long.
And number 5, 5'11" senior Landon Long.
He is from Mason, Ohio, majoring in finance. Landon, a 3-year letter winner for the Polar Bears, has also been awarded academic All-OAC every year in his career. Landon earned All-OAC tournament team during his sophomore year, had a career-high 35 points in a game against Manchester his junior year, also holds a career-high of 7 rebounds and 6 assists. Landon has been one of our hardest workers and a key staple for the ONU basketball program the last 4 years. We thank Landon for everything he has given. Landon Hall. And our final men's basketball senior, number 22, CJ Napier.
Number 22, senior CJ Napier, making the walk to center court.
My favorite is that Klondike is just hiding in the background.
CJ, also a 3-year medal winner for the Polar Bears, has earned academic All-OAC in each of his 4 years here at ONU. He became the 40th member of the 1,000-point club.
He could be photobombing a few things.
Well, I feel like they should all be able to shake Klondike's palm as they walk out.
CJ was All-OAC honorable mention.
Watch out for claws.
All-OAC second team his sophomore year, and All-OAC honorable mention again his junior year. CJ has been a 4-year starter for the Bears and has been instrumental in the success of the program all 4 years. CJ Napier.
CJ Napier out of Bishop Fenwick High School and from Miamisburg, as I get a picture of all the seniors together.
Except for Landon Long, who didn't bring his picture with him. CJ tried to point it out to him, but Bird doesn't have his either. He said, man, hey, where's your picture at? He said, I gotta go get it from Mom. I love it when a plan comes together, I believe.
There's the group of seniors representing Ohio Northern University. And all of the parents here on a Saturday afternoon. At first game this afternoon features John Carroll and Ohio Northern University.
Nobody knows where to go. Please exit stage left. Thank you.
There you see the scene here at Ohio Northern. We're going to take a break. You're watching college basketball on NKTelco Sports.
Whatever Cards and Games in Ada is your locally owned, family-friendly business for all your gaming needs. We carry a wide range of collectible card games, board games, family games, role-playing games, educational games for all ages, and more. Stop in today for your much-needed expansion packs and war miniatures. We are an official tournament store for Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, and Cardfight Vanguard. Expect an enjoyable time at Whatever Cards and Games, where there's fun for everyone.
Four Seasons drive-thru, we have the coolest beverages in town and specials to satisfy all appetites.
Check out our Facebook page for all the details and times of Brandy's Pies. Get this great pizza by the slice or take home a whole pie. And don't forget his spectacular subs.
At Four Seasons drive-thru, we have all the supplies you need for game day celebrations.
Four Seasons drive-thru, 205 North Main Street in Ada. Great drinks, great food, wonderful service, and amazing prices.
Go Bears!
Laredo Lanes in Ada offers men's league bowls on Mondays and Wednesday evenings, women's league bowls on Thursday evenings, couples bowls on Friday evenings, kids bowl on Saturday mornings from December through March, Scotch mixed double bowls on the last Saturday of every month, open bowling on Saturday evening, Saturday afternoon reserve the bowling alley for children's birthday parties, and on Sunday, lanes are available to reserve for birthdays of any age as well as for group events. Check out LaredoLanes.com for more info.
Households are using more connected devices than ever before. TVs are streaming, smartphones are browsing, security cameras are watching, and virtual assistants are, well, assisting.
You'll need an umbrella today.
As you add more devices, we are constantly improving our technology to deliver the fastest and most reliable internet to your home. So make sure you have enough bandwidth.
Get NKTelco high-speed internet with speeds up to 1 gig. Call 1-888-NKTelco today.
here at Ohio Northern University Sports Center. The Ohio Northern University men's basketball program recognizing the seniors associated with the program over the last 4 years. And boy, you look at some very good accomplishments by that group of seniors. And you take a look at C.J. Napier, and you know, when you look at his career, he was the last one introduced. But when you look at some of his numbers, Michael, they are quite impressive as he moves into the final games of his college career.
Number 21 at Northern all-time, 1,214 points. He's moved up 4 spots in about the last 6 games. He's number 19 in rebounds at 566. You heard him say number 40 all-time in the 1,000-point club, which in and of itself is impressive here at Northern, because that list is a ridiculous who's who. You heard Landon Long of what he has done. I mean, over 60 games in his first 3 years, all academic, all tournament team. And it really continues to go. Michael Berner, who's one of the leading block artists in the league. He's an all OAC academic pick as well. And Adam Scott, you know, he's been pretty good. He's had a terrific career out of Wapak, and we've got the young lady from Bluffton back singing the national anthem.
That's coming up here in just a few seconds.
With our announcements of the starting lineups and our national anthem, again, want to let folks know we have another turned-in lost cell phone to the scores table.
Well, I was thinking they were going to introduce the national anthem, but apparently we lost a cell phone again.
I laugh because nobody can come to Ada and ever leave with their cell phone. It's about the 16th time this season here at home that one of the 2 PA announcers have had to make a decree that someone lost their cell phone.
John Carroll comes in today's game at 20-2, 14-1, leading the OAC. John Carroll averaging 81.3 points per game, allowing 69.1, a difference of 12 points. Ohio Northern, on the other hand, 66.3 points per game on defense, 69 points per game. They're number 9 in offense, and John Carroll stands number 2 in offense with that 81 points. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have our national anthem. You're watching college basketball on NKTelco Sports.
We turn it over to ONU cheerleader Coco.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Edition of the national anthem, as we're just moments away from the start of tonight's play. One thing we ought to note, Michael, is that Ohio Northern, thanks to Capital's loss on Friday, still does have a mathematical chance at winning a OAC tournament berth. But of course, the big obstacle stands in front of us here this afternoon.
Yeah, it's always the biggest thing when you have to do it yourself. 5-10, but sitting behind at Capital at 7-9, and then Baldwin Wallace at 6-9. Again, it is possible. We talked about Capital's road to what they would have to do the rest of the way, but they don't have 2 easy games left. They have 2 games that you're absolutely going to have to try to do yourself. But it starts here by knocking off the number 16 in the country. You don't do that, none of the rest of the stuff matters.
Starting lineup introduced for John Carroll, Luke Chacon, Connor O'Toole, Chase Toppin, Luke Frazier, and Luca Eller for the Blue Streaks. And now for the Ohio Northern University Polar Bears as the lights go dim.
Luckily, not all of them. There's still a couple of them back here as they are waiting. They're trying to put together a video. There it is.
Promotional video on the screen near the main stands, I guess we would call it.
Doesn't get audio today. It's normally a dubstep track that goes along with it. I could replicate it, but I was asked not to do that.
That might be a little painful.
Boom, 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 boom. That's kind of how it goes. I just saw the AD say, just go ahead. We're not going to do that.
Here come the starting lineup for the Ohio Northern Polar Bears.
There it is.
Here's number 2, Will Miller. 37 steals, third in the OAC. Landon Long, number 5. He leads Ohio Northern with 28 threes. Michael Berner, 6'8", senior. 21 blocks on the season. And C.J. Napier, as Michael noted, 1,214 career points. And number 23, a senior, Adam Scott at 6'6", out of Wapakoneta, having an outstanding season, averaging in double figures. Let's move on to our keys to the game this afternoon. First for the visiting John Carroll Blue Streaks of head coach Pete Moran.
And Pete Moran, a second-generation coach. His dad, Mike, was the coach for 25 years for this program. And actually, if you see a couple of guys, as you see, they want to get off to a streaky kind of start with a high-energy get out and go. Their D against Ohio Northern's slower motion offense needs to create opportunities, create turnovers, and win the rebounding advantage. That's obviously a big game point for anybody. ONU's got to be fearless. We talked about them being able to drive a couple of nights ago with the ball, play at a high level, and convert on defense and have great backside positioning. But if you notice on the John Carroll bench, if you see two guys who look a lot like Pete Moran, he's got his brothers Pat and Matt as his assistants.
And our keys to game today brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. We're underway. John Carroll will have the basketball first.
Extremely high, fast-paced offense for John Carroll. Extremely high-paced, intelligent decision-making. And there you see Chase Toppin.
Chase Toppin slips inside, and it's 2-0. Blue Streaks with the early lead. Here comes the press right away, Michael.
Took him 15 seconds to get that, but Long. Think about the pressure on Will Miller today. He's in there on senior day. 4 starters of the senior variety and 1 as a freshman.
Intense defense by John Carroll as we start this one. Will Miller will have it out front. He'll go to the right side, back over to Scott. Scott looks inside for Napier, but it'll come back out to Long. Back to Berner. Napier for the open 3, got it.
It seems only right that he would be the guy to put the first basket on the scoreboard for Northern.
Northern with a 3-2 lead, 18:55 as the whistle blows. Goes against Will Miller.
Chase Toppin, he could get out and run. 14 points, 3 steals in the last effort as one of the stealer leaders in the OAC. And Miller, like we talked about, tried to come up with it. Look at what Chase Toppin could do. He made 2 different all-tournament teams this year.
Chacon, he'll connect.
Good stock for that young man. He's the grandson. Talking about Mike Moran, who was the head coach here for 25 years. That's his grandfather. So obviously playing for his dad and playing with his uncles.
Northern with the basketball. Scott for 3. He'll connect. And Ohio Northern will go up a point.
From Wapakoneta, that's close to where he shot it, right there off 75. Right by the Armstrong Museum, I think.
Rebound comes down to Scott.
This is the kind of game that's kind of tailor-made for him because Landon Long's going to draw a lot of attention. C.J. Napier is going to draw a lot of attention. When you talk about that third guy, who's the third member of your big 3? I think today it has to be Adam Scott.
Napier to the baseline. He'll stop underneath the basket, put it up and in. That's the C.J. Napier that we've seen a lot of this season.
And remember, a lot of Northern's losses early in the year with him banged up and with him unavailable. But he looks like he's ready to go now.
O'Toole into the lane, off the glass, up and in.
This is another one that he's got a heck of a lineage as Burner can't tap it, a first turnover.
John Carroll Chacon with it, back out to O'Toole. John Carroll's Chacon. Top of the key, there it is.
Coach Moran just went for a walk, and he ended up nearly on the Northern bench. His team went down the other way, and so did he.
You like that shot, too.
He said, hey, Coach, you can't be there. He said, I don't know what I was doing.
From the corner, there's Long. Northern go back up by 2.
What's the difference between Northern a couple of nights ago is they don't get back and leave a wide open Chase Toppin. What's the difference between Northern a couple of nights ago and right now? They're 3 for 3 from outside.
We've got a 30-second timeout taken by Ohio Northern. And we'll keep it right here and remind you that tonight's game is brought to you by John and Tony's Restaurant, Four Seasons drive-thru, Jalapenos Mexican Grill, whatever cards and games, and NKTelco. And also that today's game will be replayed on NKTelco Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503, Tuesday, March 7th at 9 p.m., Saturday, March the 11th at 6 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports.
Dr. Bates over there rocking the drums. And I've seen him wear this for years, but I call that his Freddy Krueger ONU sweater. So that's what it reminds me of. He's got the streaks there going up and down. But again, Coach Moran he was just out for a stroll.
He took a walk.
He said, I got caught up in the game.
Burner will get it inbounds to Long, and he'll bring it up court against Chacon.
And how about the start, though, for both teams? The first 22 points in less than 3 minutes.
Long over to Burner. Burner's going to put it up. Shot no good.
Elbowed on that one. That's the first field goal miss for Northern. They started out 4 of 4.
Chacon, there's the feed to Toppin. 6'1" sophomore out of St. Ignatius.
That's why they average 81 points a game.
John Carroll, 13. Ohio Northern, 11.
6 of 7 for John Carroll from the field as the Polar Bears miscue on their communication there.
Tell you what, these two teams are really shooting the ball here. 6 out of 7 for John Carroll, 4 out of 5 for Ohio Northern as we start this one off.
There you saw Coach Young. Here's Mentor High School's representative, one of them, and Luke Chacon, who actually started his college career at Youngstown State University. Didn't like being a Penguin, liked being a Blue Streak better, a little closer to home. Won the Clark Kellogg Award for the best player in Lake County when he was in high school.
That would be a great accomplishment. Foul in the backcourt there by Connor O'Toole, a 6'3" junior.
He's a guy who has a long lineage of John Carroll in his blood. His grandpa Ray graduated and started it for the family back in '53. And they've been going there ever since. They might have a wing there. At least a building, maybe a library.
Scott's going to toss it in.
A couple of subs in Jerry Higgins III and Henry Rayner for John Carroll. Love the blue shoes, though.
Burner with the basketball. Back over to Long. A long 3. And Toppin will grab the rebound.
It wasn't a bad shot. It was just early in the shot clock.
Toppin has it on the right side.
Stepped out of bounds.
Out of bounds in front of the Northern University student section. 15 minutes, 36 seconds to go here. First half play on the John and Tony's Restaurant scoreboard.
Will Yontek, the 6'7" sophomore, in for the first time. 7 points, 4 rebounds a game for that young man.
Miller will bring it up court. Game for John Carroll.
It's off. 1, 2.
Foul in the backcourt.
It's not.
John Carroll, number 0.
Check.
His first team second. And for the Polar Bears.
As CJ Napier will inbound it. Ethan Bell, number 3, into the lineup for Ohio Northern. He'll get the basketball.
Can you hear? I said yeah.
Scott will have it. Back over to Miller. Miller into the lane. Back out to Long behind the arc. He'll go inside, off the glass, shot no good. He'll draw the foul, and Landon Long will step to the free throw line.
John Carroll, number 32, Yontek, his first.
Yontek with the foul. That'll be his first, team's third.
He said he doesn't.
Long at the free throw line. He'll connect. He's got 4 points. And Long will shoot the second free throw.
Gremlin got me. Technical difficulty.
Second free throw rolls home. And we are tied at 13.
It's a nice drive, too, by Long to kind of set that whole thing up, knowing he's got to be an aggressor here as one of that big three I keep going back to. It's got to be the third guy behind Scott Napier.
And I think that looks like the biggest difference here in the early going.
Landon Long just kind of get like a wrestling takedown.
Well, down to the floor goes Rayner.
He kind of, it was an odd thing when he came across almost, they say sweep the leg, Danny, but that's not what they mean. He just kind of tapped him on the way by.
Henry Rayner will step to the free throw line, 65% free throw shooter, pops in and out. Mason Studer into the lineup for the Polar Bears.
Talk about what he accomplished in high school. He actually started at Hillsdale College, a D2 up in Michigan. Was a student senate vice president, went to a Final Four under Cam Joyce at St. Ignatius, who himself has got a long lineage of success in Northeast Ohio.
John Carroll up by a point. Studer will bring it up court.
Again, this goes back to the early thing of plus possessions if you're Northern. You don't necessarily have to have threes. You got those three right out of the gate in your first 4 shots. But good possessions, that was one. Whether that goes in or not, that's a good shot by Adam Long. Landon Long.
Long's got 7. Northern has a 1-point lead. Chacon gets it back out to Toppin. Chacon looks to go inside. Short jumper, no good. Rayner with the rebound. Shot, no good. Rebound by Adam Scott.
He was not thrilled either because he wanted to go clean up court. Didn't have a look at it.
Turner has it down low. Yontek on him. Outside is Long. Not this time. Ball chased down by Yontek, and John Carroll has the rebound in the basketball.
Yontek, who's played in 17 games this year, now 18.
Move inside, beautiful move.
Missed a couple of injury, but Jerry Higgins, he played 4 years of college basketball at the Citadel before he got to this point. So he's already played, and by the way, he also ended up playing 87. He won 87 games at VASJ. It's the second most wins of anybody in OHSA history.
A break on break in the action. 13:36 to go. First half action. John Carroll 16, Ohio Northern 15. You're watching college basketball on NKTelco Sports.
My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
here at Ohio Northern. And John Carroll has a 16-15 lead. And stepping to the line is Adam Scott, as they need to reset the scoreboard there. So
just because he said it to me, yeah, 16-0. Can we take that?
I'm sure.
Just because Adam Scott said it to me, he was very nice before the game. We had a nice conversation. He mentioned folks back in Wapak, or as everybody else calls it, Wapakoneta, love what we've been able to do this year. And he said it really makes their day when I talk about his shoes. I could not pull his off. A little peach, a little pink, a little blue.
It's very colorful.
I could not pull that off as they're still trying to figure out what the score is here.
16-15.
My question is always, do you think anybody in the crew could pull those off?
13:36. That's the key. Not a minute 33.
I don't think anybody in the crew could pull those off. It's like he knows. Look at him. He's just looking down at his shoes. It's like he knows I'm talking about him. That's the worst part about being a free throw shooter right now. You're kind of being iced.
Unintentionally being iced.
Look how unhappy he is. I like that Heath Jeffries seems the most, there's his shoes, seem the most angry about it. He's just standing there on the block of, why? Why is this happening?
Number 33, David Gentry, into the lineup for John Carroll. Scott will connect.
He said, take that for your ice. There's the signs I was looking for.
There's a lot of them here this afternoon.
Pointed that out. That guy's got like 5 or 6 of them that he just passed around.
Second free throw also good.
Back into the Bears, number 22, CJ Napier.
So now 17-16.
Scott with 4 points, and here comes John Carroll.
This is what you extrapolate the first 6+ minutes for Northern. You have to keep this tempo up and be able to continue to shoot this well. Good play by Miller.
Good defense. Napier comes up with it, and Bell will bring it up court. Bell, he's going to go inside, finds the corner. Studer back over to Miller. Inside Napier. He's going to go to work. Back out it comes. Inside shot off the glass. Nice move by a senior, Heath Jeffries.
Just sort of carved his way through the defense to give ONU a 3-point lead.
And that's a turnover. Northern really has upped their level of aggressiveness here in this first half from what we've seen previously.
Yeah, Coach Moran's not thrilled, and they're able to sustain this tempo. Either everybody's hungry or they're calling out a play for John Carroll, because that's the same move I make when I ask my daughter if she's hungry.
Frazier into the lane, puts it up and in.
Apparently the answer was yes. He had to eat.
Frazier's first basket of the day. Here goes Studer. Back out to Miller.
Frazier, by the way, he's got a dad. Played at Muskingum and a mom who scored 1,000 points there. Kind of bucked the trend and went to John Carroll.
Bell with it back out to Napier. Napier wants to work inside. He'll put it off the glass. It's short. Rebound is going to come down to Chacon.
Tell you how good Chacon is. He's on the Bevo Francis Top 100 watch list. If you don't know what that is, it's about the 100 best small school players. Think about the Naismith for Division I, but this is kind of the smaller version of it as he gets his way to the basket. And it's impressive, too, because, I mean, you've watched a lot of basketball. Do you know who Bevo Francis is?
I do, but I'm one of the rare.
13 points.
Yeah. Rio Grande.
Yep, against Hillsdale, which just keeps coming up. Actually, last week on the date, February the 2nd.
Higgins, shot no good. Bell had a hand on it, but it's going to come back out to Chacon.
Coach's kid, he's smart.
Inside it goes to Rayner. Shot no good. Napier blocked him out.
While he was shooting it and after he was shooting it, CJ blocked him out.
And Blake Jeffries, or Heath Jeffries, really coming off the bench and giving the Polar Bears a lift on the boards.
It gives him some sort of lift here. Again, getting extended minutes on senior day.
From the corner, there it is. Mason Studer.
He said, don't forget about the freshman class.
First three of the afternoon for Studer. Northern with a 4-point lead and a foul.
How about Northern, though? 4 for 7 from 3 in the first half. You look at their big wins this year, you can draw a direct correlation to how they shot the three. First time these teams met, they did not shoot well. It did not go well. I think they were 2 of 12, if I remember right.
John Carroll set to inbound it. Rayner with it. Outside is Frazier. There it is. I think we could talk all day about Luke Frazier's credentials.
1,665 points in his Meadow Lake Catholic career. Before, he actually had 2 stops at 2 different D1s. He went to Dayton for a year. Didn't get enough playing time or didn't like it. Sometimes don't fit. He goes to Ohio University for a year, and he didn't intend on playing, and they recruited him to the team. Played a handful of games, didn't really work out, and he ended up coming back home. Back to the Cleveland area.
There you see Ohio Northern coach Neil Young. Frazier's the number 3 scorer in the OAC.
Bell wasn't paying attention when they handed him the basketball.
Bell will bring it back out. Napier. Lead goes back to 4.
Biggest that it's been for Northern, who are shooting the lights out compared to what they have been the last couple of games.
That's going to be a John Carroll turnover.
That'll be their 3rd. Solid defense and good shooting. One thing about Northern, I don't know if it's because of the fact that it's senior day or what, but they're coming in with a little extra swag today, and they do not look like, at least through the first 10-plus minutes, a team that's lost 4 straight.
Napier gets it into Scott, back to Bell.
Or even a team that's afraid of the number 16 in the country.
Studer back to Bell. Bell. He'll get it over to Studer. He's going to go left side. For Jeffries. Jeffries looks for Napier, but he's pushed to the corner. Results in a turnover. Chacon. Frazier with an emphatic dunk.
Down goes Frazier with a left hand.
And the lead is 2 points for Ohio Northern.
That's one of those, though, we joke all the time about how much is it actually worth a dunk like that, because it gets your momentum back, and Napier fouled emphatically with the forearm in the back.
As the team's 5th foul back into the Bears.
And into the lineup comes Luca Eller.
I think he just checked in with me. I'll go ahead and I'll let it slide this time. That's the 2nd foul on O'Toole.
Here comes the inbounds pass. Napier back over to Miller. Miller will bring it back out front. Ohio Northern will set their offense.
Frazier just sort of ran him over on the screen as he was trying to hand it.
There's another 3. C.J. Napier.
It's his 3rd of the half. Northern is 5 for 8 from beyond the arc.
Chacon back over to Toppin. Underneath Chacon, back out front O'Toole. Here comes Toppin. Off balance. Rebound somehow pulled in by C.J. Napier.
I thought it looked like that Toppin got his feet mixed up on his way in.
Scott drives the lane, or drives the baseline. Ball knocked out of bounds. And Northern will inbound it.
I mean, how about this? Northern 9 of 14 from the field. They're 6 of 9 from beyond the arc. They've cut their turnovers way down. This is a team that averages 13 a game, but at times kind of gets quicksand in that they get mired in it. They turn one over and it turns into 2 or 3 possessions.
Napier. That's going to go against a smiling Luca Eller.
It's not a very happy junior and a 6'7" kid laying on the ground. Played at Miami of Ohio for a year or 2. Had 2,000 points and 1,000 rebounds in high school. Can't even fathom that.
Those are some heavy numbers, to say the least.
He also, by the way, has got a little bit of a local connection. He played for an AAU team called a C2K Elite that's run by Quincy Simpson, head coach at Lima Senior.
Miller trying to get it over to Burner.
Which I believe Will Miller also played for a couple years after that. I know his teammate Josh Turbot, who's at Finley, did. I was thinking Miller might have too.
There's the toss to Scott. There's the jumper.
I hope the photographer girl in the corner was paying attention, because that was the seminal photo right there. Unfortunately, he missed a shot.
Toppin, he'll connect. Chase Toppin.
Started at D2 Lake Erie College after he finished up at St. Ignatius. He's got 9 in the game.
2-point difference. Ohio Northern still with the lead. Miller wants to go into the lane. Gets it back out to Long. Shot clock coming up on 5 seconds. Miller. There's the shot. Got it. Will Miller.
First bucket of the game, but how many times have you seen him this year hit a ridiculous fall-away shot with a shot clock winding down? I can think of at least 4.
That's a good time for one right now, as Ohio Northern's lead back up to 5. Outside 3 by Frazier, no good. Napier wins the battle on the boards.
Not only that, he created a 5-on-4 on the other end.
Long with the basketball. Inside shot hits the edge of the backboard.
Frazier got a hand on it.
Up court, lead pass. There it is. Henry Rayner.
You want to look at running the floor and teaching your guys how to do it to get from one end to the other. 2 dribbles from Chacon to get near half court. He threw a left-handed pass through 2 defenders in a perfect lead.
Napier, pass intended. Tossed there by Scott, just a little bit too long.
Out of bounds, John Carroll ball, timeout on the floor.
Got a break in the action, 6:30 to go. First half play, Ohio Northern 31, John Carroll 28. You're watching college basketball on NKTelco Sports.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Let's take another look at this one, Michael.
Watch Chacon come from the right corner of your screen. Hey, there's Neil Young. It is senior day after all. Watch him come. He takes 2 quick dribbles. He's not even looking. I didn't even realize that when he threw the pass. That's what happens when your grandfather coached college basketball for 25 years. Your uncles are coaches, and you're able to just see the court like that.
He'll bring it up court, across the timeline. And shot clock stuck at 30.
I turned and caught Coach Brand's face, and he just kind of breathed out and was just kind of like, again, got enough of these problems.
Higgins back out front to Eller, now Toppin. Toppin will have it. He's number 4, Studer on him. Goes to the backside, and Eller shot no good. Burner with the big rebound.
Good defense by him. He stuck that long arm out there, and he didn't block it, but it was just enough to kind of change the eye line.
Bell with the basketball. Over to Scott, to the baseline. He'll put it up. Oh, I was going to say an in, but not quite.
World spun the wrong way.
Higgins off the glass. It's going to be a block, and the shot is going to count. So that's going to pull John Carroll to within a point.
With Higgins at the line with a chance to tie it. The grad transfer, 26 of 33. Studer got there, but it looked like, again, it's kind of hard to tell with 4 guys in my way, that he slid right before as you get the replay. What that's cue for is, watch this replay. Yeah, he did. He picked his left foot up and tried to kind of lean back.
Higgins will tie it up. 5:47 to go here in the first half. John and Tony's Restaurant scoreboard, and we are tied at 31.
This is an important one, though, for Northern. They cannot let the momentum they've built up slip away here.
Long to Bell. He'll shoot it. Got it. Ethan Bell, the sophomore, with the big connection.
6 different players have hit 8 threes.
Toppin back over to Rayner. Now Higgins. Rayner open. He'll take it.
Wow. That is a lot to get that shot up.
It was a wind-up.
Rayner 2 for 7 from out there this year, but yeah, that takes a minute. Nobody near him.
Long. Scott, he's going to try the baseline again. He'll pull it back up. Gets it back out to Long.
You can tell when he's thinking something because the tongue comes out.
Burner, short jumper, got it. Michael Burner. Nice to see him connect.
Guys, it's senior day. I need to score too.
It's going to be on Burner.
I love that Landon Long came over and he kind of, I watched his face. Who's that on? And immediately Burner put his hand in his chest and said, trust me, that one's on me.
Inbounds pass, Henry Rayner.
It's a quick lineup on the floor right now for ONU.
Chacon. Jumper no good. Rebound Aller. Short on the rebound shot. Out of bounds, and John Carroll will maintain possession.
Well, look at the look on the face of Luke Eller, number 11, as he stands out of bounds. He is just kind of gasping of, I shouldn't have to work this hard. It normally does not go this way.
Number 21, Heath Jeffries into the lineup, as is number 2, Will Miller.
There's a lob coming here.
5-point Ohio Northern lead. Chacon back out to Higgins. And he connects.
24 triple for him in 60 attempts all in the year. Again, via Angelo St. Joseph, where Clark Kellogg played, and I watched him win a D4 title one year against Leipzig. They were the first school in OHSA history to win all 4 division titles. Like a 10-year span, too.
Napier.
Good pickup.
Back over to Bell. Inside. Beautiful pass by Ethan Bell. Napier gives him a nod, and what an assist by Ethan Bell.
You feel like they've run that play before because they were seemingly in each other's head.
Luke Frazier makes it look easy, and John Carroll stays with him too.
Yeah, it's a kid that has a high jump record in his high school, 6 feet 4 inches. I can't imagine being that tall, as Napier just got run over.
Napier hoping for a call, but
did they get the number of that truck?
Not this time.
Looked like Rayner got him and just kind of football moved him. Said, you know, we play high quality football at St. Ignatius, right? Chuck Kyle, who just retired, won 11 state titles. Number 2 to a guy from Maria Stein, I believe. Just picked up his 13th. I don't know what the conversation was because they didn't change the call.
Clock counting down. 3 minutes, 15 seconds to go. First half action from Ohio Northern University Sports Center. Frazier over to the right side. Rayner is going to work on Napier. Dishes it back to Chacon, but he comes right back out.
He knew Chacon was coming too.
Blocked by Jeffries. Higgins with the rebound. Shot no good, and Bell will come down with it. Chacon goes for the steal.
See the student section across the way sold out on that one.
Feed. Shot doesn't go. Own rebound. Up and in. Heath Jeffries. There you see him, number 21, the senior, coming up big here this afternoon for Ohio Northern.
Last time he scored, he made it 19-16, but showing out, he said it's my senior day too.
Frazier, step back. Jeffries had the boards cleared, but Higgins will get the rebound. He'll get the three-pointer here. Shot no good, and Long will have the rebound.
Jerry Higgins kind of waited for that, but credit Chacon because that was the old, if you see a shot only passed it up to get a better shot, and he thought that one from the corner was.
Northern on the offense. Bell has the basketball. Ball into Napier, but it's going to go astray, and that's Ohio Northern turnover. Will Miller comes back with a steal.
Why not? You know, there's a good chance he's going to own the steals record by the time he leaves Northern, right?
He's good at it. That's most definite.
Averages over 2 a game. I think he was close to 4 in high school at Audubon.
Napier to the baseline, puts it up and in. Oh, boy. Ohio Northern 42, John Carroll 36.
What a half by CJ. He just broke the scoreboard.
Frazier has it. 15-footer. Doesn't fall. Rebound Jeffries, and Bell will bring it up court.
I can't wait to hear what Coach has to say about this one. He should be a lot happier than what he has been lately. Last game they were down 10 at the half. They're now leading the number 6 team in the country by 6.
With the basketball as Long. Ball for Napier, but it's going to go out of bounds.
He tried to point out to CJ, you're supposed to roll with that. That's not going to work. 7th turnover of the half for ONU. 47.5 left here in the first half.
63% shooting from the field by Ohio Northern. 73% from behind the arc, Michael.
Oh, and they've only hit 4 of 4 from a line. This is a big one. Again, if they can carry this momentum into the locker room. Avoid a score here.
Frazier, Chacon, Toppin. Ball goes inside.
Oh, Jeffries is going to get the foul as he reached through. See exactly how this affects the next 38 seconds. Trying to tell him go straight up from the John Carroll bench. Getting advice about what he should do. See all 3 of the Coach Moran boys in that photo. So the ball being inbounded by John Carroll underneath their own basket. 38 seconds left in the half. Chacon loves to create, takes long left, throws up a triple off the front of the rim. It'll be picked off by CJ Napier. And Ohio Northern has got 26 seconds to try to add to their 6-point lead going into the break. Miller between the legs and across the circle. Up to his right and back with 15 seconds. Trying to lose his defender. A little spinorama. CJ Napier sitting down. Oh, wait. Down to 8 seconds. As Scott down to the baseline. He'll go underneath. Shot blocked, but the rebound, and Pete Jeffries with 2. And Ohio Northern is going to race into the halftime with a 44-36 lead. Everything going the way of the orange and black here on a senior day. We'll see what Coach Young has to say about it.
Test, test. We're live here at Ohio Northern University with Neil Young. His team has an 8-point lead over John Carroll. Offensively, you played an excellent half. Your observation?
Yeah, I mean, I think we kind of played the game at their pace, but we're fearless with the basketball today, and so we're getting ourselves in some good spots. We just got to keep it up.
On the boards, you got some key help off the bench from Jeffries and others. Rebounding, you're doing very well against John Carroll.
Senior day, right? You always hope your seniors are going to step up. He's playing his best game of the year. We just got to keep it going.
Second half, what do you want your team to do?
Keep making shots and keep getting rebounds.
That all sounds good. Thank you, Coach. Halftime, Ohio Northern has the lead against John Carroll. You're watching college basketball on NKTelco Sports.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
Wagner's IGA has been servicing their communities for more than 95 years, spanning 3 generations. Wagner's founded their business on 2 basic principles: excellent customer service and quality products. Visit all our locations and experience the finest selection of deli, fresh meats, and variety of beverage choices. While there, don't forget to check out our vast selection of fresh coffee beans, produce, dairy, and bakery items. Visit Wagner's today in Minster, Fort Laramie, and New Bremen, and check us out on Facebook.
Eight-point Ohio Northern lead as it's a festive setting here at halftime, and we're going to take a look at the stats and you'll find out exactly why it's festive here at Ohio Northern. What a first half of shooting by the Polar Bears.
Yeah, they're looking for a double twin party today. They win the rebounding battle, lose the turnovers, but 16-26, and if you go 8 of 11 from 3, I mean 4 of 10 most people are pretty happy with, 40%. Which is above what John Carroll shoots at 35% on the year. But free throws haven't been a huge factor. There thankfully weren't a lot of fouls in the first half. But, I mean, if you're Northern, you have to try to keep up this pace. At least half of it would be good. But we talked about keys earlier on about matching the pace. This is a John Carroll team that comes in at 81 points a game. You know they're going to make a run at some point. It's just about making your possessions worth more than what theirs are, so to speak.
And the numbers first half definitely on Ohio Northern side. You take a look at individual performances. We're talking about the number of threes, the number of people in scoring for Ohio Northern. Just 8 different players scoring, and the threes, what was it?
6 players hit 8 threes. You look at the other side for John Carroll, they only had 3 players hit their threes, but they count the same. It's just a matter of, Northern needs to break that 4-game losing streak. And we talked about it, we interviewed Coach Young a couple of games ago, and I keep going back to this because it says what he thinks about the program. You either do things the right way or you don't play in this program. Right now, things are going the right way, and they're going the Northern way.
And Long will shoot a 3. Shot is a little bit short. Burner will chase it down, but he's going to be out of bounds.
He questioned maybe if he should have driven that because he had a 2-on-1 on the way down there, and he had C.J. Napier down there with him. But I say that from all the way over here. It's easier for me.
A lot of space out there, and Toppin will take it inside the lane, and he'll connect as John Carroll. One stat that I found unusual when I was digging into some things, I believe, if I'm correct on this, John Carroll has the fewest numbers of threes made in the conference, but the best percentage. And let's figure that one out.
That's always one. Miller tried to run the seam route, got cut off by the defender in Chacon, who, even when he's not playing with the basketball, is a smart kid.
So John Carroll has a chance to cut further into the Ohio Northern 8-point halftime lead. They're down by 6 right now. Into the lane goes O'Toole, back over to Chacon. Back out front is Frazier. Frazier, short jumper, no good. Scott had a hand on it. He'll grab it the second time, and he gets the board.
He tried to hit C.J. Napier's go-to move on C.J. Napier.
Napier with the basketball. Inside, he'll come back out. Scott puts it on the floor, dumps it off to Burner. Michael Burner, the big guy, gets his second bucket of the afternoon.
And he pulled from the hip and just sort of windmilled one up and got it to go.
Toppin, no good.
Coach Moran really wants that bump on Will Miller. See how far he walks. He's just going to hunch down in front of me.
Miller on Toppin. Short jumper. Will Miller.
You need a big shot the next 4 years. It's probably going to come from that kid.
10-point lead. Look at that. back is Luke Chacon.
Sad thing is for John Carroll, it's only his 5th point. He had 10 and 5 points and assists the first time these teams met in January.
Averaging 15 points per game is Chacon. There goes Miller's shot, no good. Rebounds Frazier.
Too much of a draw on that shot.
Chacon into the lane, and once again they want a foul call. None.
I gotta be honest with you, I don't know that he's not right. There's a lot of contact.
Ball's tipped and goes out of bounds, so it'll be maintained by John Carroll.
Coach Moran just got right into the officials' ear. Northern at 4 and 5 at home this year as they wrap out their home part of the season. They go on the road at Muskingum next week, but they finish here on Wednesday night against Heidelberg. And a game that we talked about it earlier, they're still mathematically alive, but it starts with winning this one.
Long will have the basketball. Over to Napier. Scott, shot clock at 15. Miller out front, directs some traffic. Scott goes inside. Napier into the lane. There it is. He never misses that shot, does he?
I don't think so. He's got 17, and wherever that bank is, it's open. They have extremely late hours.
10-point lead, Ohio Northern. Frazier, he'll connect for 2. Timeout, John Carroll. 16:51 to go in the second half. Our score, Ohio Northern 50, John Carroll 42. You're watching college basketball on NKTelco Sports.
Unpack your potential with a career at Pratt Industries. Working at Pratt Industries is more than a job. It's a sustainable career.
Pratt Industries to me is a job. It's my career. It's the way I put food on my table, but I love what I do.
We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and opportunities for career advancement. To apply, visit careers.prattindustries.com.
Ohio Northern has an 8-point lead at 50-42. And discussing media timeouts, which is a little bizarre because there you see Ohio Northern bench, and they'll come back out onto the court.
Well,
John Carroll will have the basketball.
Trying to make sure Scott can get all these commercials in the truck.
It'd be the first time they haven't had a media timeout, but.
Yeah, that's what I was confused about. We should have asked the official we had last time.
Long's going to inbound it.
They're having a conversation with Coach Young about the media timeouts right now.
Should have been talked about a long time ago.
He's looking at the look on his face. I don't know. Hey, or maybe they're talking about how they just greenlit the new Toy Story movie, Toy Story 5. I'm actually excited about this because Tim Allen's back as the voice of Buzz Lightyear.
Oh, that's big news.
I thought it was. I heard it this morning on the way in.
Long will toss it in. Ball comes to Burner. Back over to Long and Bell. Miller.
This gymnastics paid off with Will Miller.
Burner has it in the corner. He'll toss it all the way to the other corner, and Miller inside Napier. There it is. Working on Connor O'Toole, the poor guy that's got to guard him.
19 points for him now on senior night.
Lead back to 10 for Ohio Northern.
Senior afternoon.
Got a foul on the floor.
Well, they've been asking for fouls. I don't think that's what they meant. Big game with the women's game coming up. Number 10th ranked team in the country. It's a big win for them to try to stay in the top 2 after that heartbreaking loss they had in overtime.
And it's going to be a foul on Miller. On a reach.
That's a
tough call.
That's a fascinating call, especially considering Napier had the ball by the time they called the foul. All right.
Chacon with the basketball over to Toppin. Toppin Looking for Chacon. There he is. He ran that baseline just like he knew that pass was going to be there.
Chase Toppin and Luke Chacon in the same class as sophomores, but you feel like they've played a ton of basketball together.
Miller. Long is in the corner. Napier will have it. Bell cuts to the hoop.
And for Northern, not only you continue maybe to put up points here, obviously, but to weather the storm of whatever the next John Carroll run is, because you know it's coming. You just have to be able to keep your composure through it.
It's so true because John Carroll, 20-2 on the season, offensive numbers that are excellent. You know the run is going to come.
He's more worried about where the coaching staff is at on the other side. I'll tell you what, that official is just staring down John Carroll's bench.
Miller, fadeaway. Burner with the rebound. Back out to Napier.
All because he mistimed his jump. If he jumps when he meant to, he does not get that basketball.
Bell back over to Long. Long into the lane. Chacon on him. Nice move. What a move by Landon Long. He's got 9.
Now the student section's awake.
Top, and there's the steal. Long with the ball and comes across the timeline. He'll pull it back up. Miller's open to the outside. Long goes inside. He'll come back out.
I guess
Miller.
forget the next streak from John Carroll. It's about Northern's current one.
Yeah, John Carroll's going to have to stop this run. Ohio Northern's on. 10-point Northern lead. Here goes Burner inside. Force against force. And
yeah, he went to go to Slam Dunk City. The door was locked, but he found a couple of free throws on the other end. Watch this one. If he gets this, the roof in this place disappears. And he had designs that he was thinking about throwing one down on senior day.
so Burner at the line.
Missed the first. 25 of 48 now. Mason Studer and Adam Scott return, along with their buddy Heath Jeffries.
It's one thing that Ohio Northern's gotten some pretty good play from their bench here this afternoon.
I think John Carroll's going to have a concerted effort to go through Jerry Higgins on the offensive side here in a second.
Burner will connect. Jeffries comes in. 11-point lead. Largest of the afternoon for Ohio Northern.
Missed their first free throw of the ball game.
Chacon. Comes back down to Higgins. Not sure. Three-pointer shot no good. Scott is going to grab it. He'll be called for travel. And Scott upset. Thought there was a foul.
I've got to believe we have a good look at that from underneath. I thought maybe he stepped on the end line, but it looked like that was more of a thing than maybe him traveling.
Chacon with the basketball. Out front, Yontek, no good. Long rebound, and Higgins scrambles to get it. Pushes it inside, shot blocked.
It's Adam Scott, flat-footed. He got a little bit of help from Jeffries, but he made a smart play to make sure he didn't get called for a foul.
Bell with it now. Finds Jeffries. There it is. Timeout, John Carroll.
Second best bounce pass I've seen today.
13-point Ohio Northern lead, and John Carroll forced to take the timeout as the lead increases with 13:55 to go. I'd like to remind you that tonight's game brought to you by John and Tony's Restaurant, Four Seasons drive-thru, Jalapenos Mexican Grill, whatever cards and games, and NKTelco. I'll bring you today's game replays of this afternoon's contest, Tuesday, March 7th at 9 p.m., Saturday, March 11th at 6 p.m. on NKTelco, Channel 3, or in HD on Channel 503.
A little man with a Mason Studer sign. Check out this replay of this pass. Or the travel. Now,
yeah.
Okay, I see it now, but again, from the isolated position we have, it's kind of hard sometimes to see things directly down the line. That's why we know we've got good cameramen. Because I can always trust them to get one of those.
Higgins with the basketball. They'll go inside to Jantek. Jantek working on Jeffries, but he misses the shot, and Bell grabs the rebound.
Did you notice Northern go up there and put a lid on the top of that basket at halftime? I didn't see it.
Sure feels like it. Scott, there it is, 15-point lead.
2 hands on the reversal off the glass. He's
got 7. Lead at 15. Higgins into the lane. It's going to roll home, or rather top.
Chase has got 13.
Studer.
You know, last time he scored, it was a 6-point game.
Looks for Bell. A little bit late there. Comes back out to Scott. Shot clock at 10 seconds. Miller's to the right side. There's the steal.
Now, depending on how you believe this to be, Bell sort of did what we talk about a lot with Northern during their current losing streak. He compounded one mistake with another. Because he lost the ball, he went to try to lose his defender on the dribble. Defender just kind of waited for it, no one was coming, and then he reached out and shoved the kid.
Toppin trying to get it inside to Jantek. Jantek, there's going to be reach on Jeffries.
It's a good call. They've really cracked down on when you go in the post this year. You used to be able to just kind of body the guy and throw your arm into his back, but when you isolate one arm to kind of hug him and then reach around, they're going to get you for it.
Higgins. Shot no good. Rebound shot no good. And Long's going to get it, but he's going to be a collision there with Higgins.
Like that he tried to give him a hand to help him up, and then Keith Jeffries came and just picked him off the floor. If I could tell you what Jerry Higgins just said, I would, but I'm not allowed to say a handful of things on this broadcast. He was not happy. Let's just put it that way.
And it's going to be a foul in the backcourt, and that's going to go against Rayner.
He's even less happy. They said you can't do that. Apparently that's against the rules. Those guys said it right there. Saw the student section.
Scott's going to inbound it. Higgins is going to steal it.
He saw that
Toppin
kind of coming.
Blocked by Jeffries. Chacon. Jantek is going to get the roll, and it's going to count. Boy, what persistence by John Carroll. Higgins really urging his team on here to play some defense.
I was kind of wondering if it was going to be Jeffries or Scott who got it. Jeffries ends up picking up number 3. Jantek at the free throw line. Another kid, honorable mention all district from St. Ignatius, who played for Cam Joyce, and all of a sudden it's a 10-point game.
12:18 to go. John Carroll bench encouraging our team to play defense on these inbounds passes. Shot clock, I want to put 29 seconds on there.
I'll tell you what, that guy's on top of it. He knew that took exactly 1 second.
Scott. Got a 30-second timeout by Neil Young, so we'll keep it right here.
Now
we have a debate.
The debate is that John Carroll's bench, specifically Coach Moran, is saying he cannot take that timeout, being Neil Young, to bail his team out there. Because remember, college has sort of experimented with different rules of your coach cannot bail you out. You're the only guy that can call it. I didn't see Adam Scott say it. I heard Neil Young on the other end, but he said, Coach, he can.
But Ohio Northern gets the timeout. And the clock is at 12:18 to go. Ohio Northern breaks the huddle, and we're ready to go.
I always find the level of talk between the players and the officials anytime, especially during a timeout. I just saw it happen a second ago with Jerry Higgins. He walked up to the official and said something. The official sort of shook his head and walked away.
Scott gets it inbound to Mason Studer. Studer will handle the basketball. Higgins on him. Studer across the timeline. 22 seconds on the shot clock. Jeffries comes out. He'll give it to Long. Burner and Napier will come back in. Into the lane, Long. What a move by Landon Long. And the lead goes to 12 again.
He set everything coming back to his left where Northern has been kicking into the corner, trying to create a shot. Higgins with a high dribble. And then he just broke the lane right down the middle on the right side.
Inside move, Jontek. A beauty.
That's what happens if you're Jeffries, knowing that you have already 3 fouls.
Studer against Chacon.
Jontek's got the last 5 for John Carroll.
Jeffries. Now Long. Chacon on him. He'll take the shot, and it's a little bit short. A foul on Chacon as Miller, Napier, and Burner will all come back in.
Coaching staff to my right, less than happy once again. They know they have to wait for that Toy Story movie to come out.
One thing that Coach Neil Young had mentioned in previous games is they need to have some good play off the bench, and they have certainly had that here today.
14 bench points.
Bell. Napier. Back to Bell.
How about one thing we talked about, 3-point shooting early in this game? There are 62 points in the paint in this ball game now.
Napier off the glass. There it is.
Make it 64.
21 on the afternoon.
Playing his penultimate game here at home.
Higgins, fadeaway, shot no good. Jontek tips it back out to Chacon. Higgins for 3, got it.
That's just the 5th 3-pointer in 14 attempts for his team.
10:40 left to go. Bell with the basketball. Higgins out on him. Burner with it now. Scott looking for Burner.
It's tipped.
Jontek with the steal. Chacon with a pass. Scott Rayner.
Got caught in the circle below, I believe, because it looked like Scott was there. Neil Young's going to take a timeout.
10:20 to go. Timeout. Ohio Northern will take a break as well. Ohio Northern 63, John Carroll 54. You're watching college basketball on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
10 minutes, 20 seconds to go. There's a look at the hallway here to the
They've got s'mores.
Sports Center.
I did not see that earlier.
All sorts of goodies out there.
Yeah, can I put that on the SIDs tab? Let him pay for it.
Good try.
Get a couple of tickets. Hey, I'm trying to win 50 grand tonight on the drawing at Ottawa Glandorf.
Oh, 50 grand. That's pretty good size.
I'm hoping.
That's
I mean,
worth
if I
having
win
a
that,
ticket.
I'll come back and I'll buy that whole table. Bring it back on Wednesday. I'll buy the whole table.
Northern back out on the court. 10:20 to go in this one. Dave Helmstetter alongside me, Michael Hearn, as we work through an afternoon of Ohio Northern University basketball. The women's follow this one. Men's basketball, Ohio Northern trying to pull up a major upset in the OAC here this afternoon. Free throw rolls home, and it's 63-57, and Ohio Northern's lead now at 6.
This is what you can't let get away. Talk about momentum earlier, going into the 10-minute mark, being up 6. Not necessarily scoring possessions, but smart possessions here for ONU.
Whistle in the backcourt. That'll go against Higgins.
I got a feeling the guys in front of me must watch a ton of film, because obviously having seen Northern already, they know a lot of what the sets are, but every single thing that Northern goes to do, the coaching staff for John Carroll has got a sequence or a coded phrase or something to try to defend.
That's a lot of breaking down film.
Well, we have a guy who says break it down, break it down. Maybe they took that to heart.
Miller, shot no good, rebound. Yontek, here comes Higgins. Racing up court, up and in. And it's gonna count.
And Burner bodied him. The worst part about this for Northern, it's coming out of their timeout. There you see, watch, Burner will body him at the end. I think he might have been better served just to let this one go. Thought he could block it, but
Higgins can pull his team to within 3 points with a made free throw here.
Too good.
And he does.
Again, spent 4 years playing college basketball at a high level at the Citadel.
Napier will handle it out front. Rainier. John Carroll bench wanting defense, but C.J. Napier comes right back with it and puts it up and in.
And the funny thing about that was, as Napier just one-man banded his way all the way down the floor, you'll see this. They were screaming next door about Will Miller and about denying him as that second guy, that trailer. And Napier just said, no, let's do it myself.
Napier with 23 points today.
Top 20 all-time in Northern history.
Scott sneaks inside. Napier with the tip. C.J. Napier's got 25.
He said, that's fine, I'll do it on my own.
Chacon in trouble. Puts it up. Napier with the rebound.
It's approaching 600 career rebounds.
Napier almost loses it, picks it up. He's in trouble. He'll get it off the long on the right side.
Needs to phone a friend.
Bell has it. Higgins almost steals it. There's Miller. Layup no good.
Too far
Reverse
underneath.
layup. Toppin over to Chacon.
Nice catch.
Boy, they know how to pass it.
I tell you what, they're throwing it with heat on it. Somebody said sign them and just leave Aaron Rodgers alone. Let him be on his darkness retreat.
Toppin over to Yontek. He wants to go on Burner. Almost loses it. There's the feed back to Toppin, back out to Yontek. Into the lane with 4 on the shot clock. It doesn't fall, and Napier goes to the floor.
He's going to try to pull that away from Rayner.
Fouls on Ohio Northern, number 22, C.J. Napier, his first team.
I always think those are the worst ones because you end up on the guy and then you get called for the foul.
Napier with the foul.
Kind of look at the cleats, or look at the kicks rather. Or Henry Rayner, he's got that Michigan vibe to it. A little more of the yellow than what John Carroll's gold is.
Rainier connects. He's got 7.
Luca Eller wanted to check in. They said, not yet, young man. Northeast Ohio's D2 Player of the Year a couple years ago. Started at Miami, Ohio, Manor Lake Catholic High School.
Second free throw, rolls home.
That's an adventure. So one of the kids is, one of the kids from the boys or the girls, I forget, is from out near where Geauga Lake used to be. But they had roller coasters that were shorter than what that basketball kind of bouncing back and forth was. And Miller
in the backcourt. That's going to go against Higgins.
I don't know if we have a shot of that one, but I would love to see that one again because Miller kind of okey-doked him on his way up, and Higgins is going to come to the bench about as despondent as you can be.
He's got 3.
So Miller's got to make this one count.
High Northern coach Neil Young talking to Michael Burner as Miller steps to the line. Jontek with a rebound off the miss.
Northern 1 of 4 in this half from the line. They were 4 of 4 at the break.
Frazier. Ball taken away. Miller with yet another steal.
Said, just
Back
wait,
out
this
to
is
Long.
what I do best. Steal and score.
Long for 3. There it is. Landed Long.
That is the first 3 of the half for ONU.
Came at a good time. 7:53 to go. Northern's lead back to 8. Frazier. Short jumper. Rolls home.
I love those guys that are able to readjust like that in midair. He's got 10. Sort of drawing back to his right. He hit that shot with the left.
Bell with the basketball. Back over to Scott. 7 minutes, 25 seconds left to play on the John and Tony's Restaurant scoreboard. Bell taken away by Toppin. Outlet pass, Chacon, easy bucket. Scott with the inbounds pass. Ohio Northern's lead at 4.
I think you could have made that one.
I'd have tried.
At least had a shot at it. See, don't panic here if you're Northern. Run the 20 seconds, run your offense, see what Miller can do.
Turnaround shot. Rebound to Frazier.
He ended up on the deck. Miller did. He tries to fight through a screen with Frazier.
Inside the lane, Chacon. Up and in, Will Jontek. Ohio Northern will take the timeout. 6:37 to go. It's a 2-point game. Ohio Northern 70, John Carroll 68. You're watching college basketball on NKTelco Sports.
We are here, and here, and here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
There you see the John Carroll huddle. Blue Streaks 28 out of 61 from the field. 5 out of 14 from behind the arc at 36%. There you see some of the crowd here at Ohio Northern University's Sports Center. Saturday afternoon of basketball, and Ohio Northern Coach Neil Young takes the timeout. Polar Bears will try and regroup as they're facing yet another John Carroll run here in the second half.
John Carroll is really, during the last, I would say, 3 or 4 minutes with this run. Remember, I said you got to kind of weather the storm on their runs. They've picked up their full court pressure.
Over to Long, almost.
Dangerous.
Napier. They clear out for Napier. He wants to go inside. Jeffries with it. Back out to Long. Shot clock coming up on 6.
Now, it's a different lineup, too, for Northern right now because you've got Studer on the floor. You put Jeffries back out there because he's kind of a hot hand and that he's played exceptionally well today with a handful of rebounds, but still C.J. Napier, the big scorer. It's got to go through him.
Napier. Back out to Studer to Miller. Napier. Eller on him. Napier puts it up and draws the foul.
That's just that pit bull mentality for C.J. Napier because he continues to just work and back down, hoping something will pick and pop open on the top. But if it's not, you know what? I'll just go at Luca Eller and see if he can guard me.
25 points in the afternoon for C.J. Napier.
But he's not scored in a couple of minutes. Here you see exactly what I was talking about. Oh, that's the bicycle race from earlier on. Here's CJ working down inside, and just a hand in his face.
Rayner and Yontek will come back in. Pair of 6'7" sophomores. Second free throw is good, and the lead is 3 points.
Wherever they yelled shot from, it didn't work. Unless they meant, please hit your shot.
Frazier with it, back out front, Toppin. Clock 5 minutes, 42 seconds. Rayner goes inside, it doesn't fall. And foul will go against Napier. His second.
That's his second, team's ninth.
Guys in there right now with foul trouble would be just Jeffries. He's got 3 for Northern. Everybody else has less than 2.
And the free throw will roll home for Rainier.
You're not supposed to be able to get those at home. Or away from your home, rather. I still think Jerry Higgins is the guy because he's been in these spots before, and it's a big reason why John Carroll has a 20-2 season.
Second free throw, he gets the roll, and it's a 1-point game again.
Now 9 of 10 from the line for John Carroll.
Long, up to Miller. Ball goes to Napier. Long will come out and get it. Jeffries with the screen. There the ball goes to Napier on baseline, double teamed. Back out front, they'll move it quickly around to Miller. Now to Jeffries, shot clock's at 3. Napier is gonna have to shoot it. And not in time, and it's a shot clock violation for Ohio Northern.
That was a busted sequence for ONU because everybody was sort of moving east and west. There wasn't really anything. Even when Jeffries caught the ball in the low block with about 9 seconds of the shot clock, everybody was just standing there watching, and they're calling it out correctly on the switches over here about what to do. They know where Napier is going to screen. He's going to screen down and across.
Rayner back to Frazier. Inside Yontek. Werner will guard him. He gets some help from Studer. They go back inside again. Chacon out front. Long is on him. Chacon. Frazier doesn't fall. Long will chase it down immediately. Double team, but gets that pass back to CJ Napier, and Long will bring it up court. Clock coming up on 4.5 minutes to go on that John and Tony's Restaurant scoreboard. Napier, foul on the floor, and that's going to go against Rayner. That'll be his second.
There's a lot of things going on right now. I kind of was trying to look at the score and trying to find something, and I just see these coaches just flash past me.
Free throw. Napier gets the roll. Miller will come back in, and Studer will go out.
There's about 200 years of experience right there you see in that shot.
Napier, as it gets quiet here at the Ohio Northern University Sports Center.
Watch him make this, and then John Carroll go down and hit a 3. Just feels like we're at that point in this game.
That's the way these OAC games go. 28 for Napier. Let's see what happens. Here comes Frazier. He'll go into the lane, off balance, and he'll score. Beautiful move by Luke Frazier.
The John Carroll fans wanted a foul, not to surprise you. Nice drive down for Cleveland on a Saturday.
Seeing a great basketball game.
Takes about 2.5 hours from where University Heights is. Trust me, I've done that drive before.
Long. Inside Scott. Frazier picks him up. Scott shot a little bit short. Rebound. Comes down to Toppin. Chacon. Looks one way, throws the other. Shot no good. Burner with a rebound. Foul is going to go against John Carroll, much to Pete Moran's disbelief.
I think he wants to dance, I think is what it is. There was a lot of that I could not see because of Coach Moran, to be honest with you.
There you see Coach Neil Young. Burner, 2 shots. 1-point lead. Michael Berner finds the nylon with that one.
2 biggest free throws he's made in a while. An opportunity to go for 3.
Not the second one. 2-point lead for Ohio Northern. Frazier tries to dish it off. Rayner puts it up, and we are tied with 3.5 minutes to go at 74 all. Scott back over to Long. Ohio Northern with the basketball in a tie ball game. Napier. Back over to Long. Long working on top, and he's
nice
cut
move.
off there.
Didn't get him anywhere.
Shot is at 5 seconds. Berner. Long will fire it up. Hits the iron, and the rebound comes down to Jantek.
Great defensive set by John Carroll there on the defensive side. They facilitated everything, pushing them back out, and I knew John Carroll had to be calling a timeout.
He'll take that 30-second timeout. 2:42 to play. 74 all. Oh, now it's going to be a full timeout, so we'll take a break. Ohio Northern 74. John Carroll 74. You're watching college basketball on NKTelco Sports.
Whatever Cards and Games in Ada is your locally owned, family-friendly business for all your gaming needs. We carry a wide range of collectible card games, board games, family games, role-playing games, educational games for all ages, and more. Stop in today for your much-needed expansion packs and war miniatures. We are an official tournament store for Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, and Cardfight Vanguard. Expect an enjoyable time at Whatever Cards and Games, where there's fun for everyone.
There you see some of the folks here at Ohio Northern University Sports Center, and we are at a deadlocked, as the John and Tony's scoreboard indicates. And there you take a little look at how it looks from above. As there you see the John Carroll bench, and Ohio Northern coming back out onto the floor. And big possession here for John Carroll. They take the timeout.
There have been 9 lead changes in this game. It's been tied 5 times, this being the 5th. ONU has led for 32 of 35 minutes.
And the whistle. Foul will go against Ohio Northern.
Something you noted on earlier about ONU having an advantage. It was 14-13 at that point on bench points. It's now 33-14 John Carroll, and they own the advantage 44-38 on points in the paint, and fast breaks are now 17-3. So they're winning all 3 facets.
A lot of that's just changed here in a matter of the last 5 or so minutes.
Rayner now 4 of 8 from the free throw line.
Here comes the second shot. It's short. Rebound, Miller. Now Northern hanging, Michael.
Yeah, they've got to get a good set here. I would love to know what Coach Young came out of the timeout. You're getting to the point where you've kind of shortened your playbook, I would think, to maybe your 2 or 3 best plays. And you're just going to run them over, hoping that you can get one of your best players to execute it.
Toppin with the steal for the lead. And John Carroll with 2:05 to go has the lead at 76-74.
That's kind of a lackadaisical pass on that side, and I'm really surprised the official could see this foul on Chacon. Oh no, he got it away from the ball.
Goes against Chase Toppin, 6'1" sophomore. And that's going to put Adam Scott at the free throw line.
Scott had those 2 big free throws early in the ball game, and that triple that gave ONU a 6-5 lead, but he's been quiet since then.
About a 70% free throw shooter as he connects on that one. He has 8 points. Averages 10.4 points per game on the season.
From that place that Pete Rose cannot say. Wapakoneta.
Second free throw is good. And we're once again tied at 76.
It's got to show out for all the folks back in Always County.
Toppin inside. Chacon has it. Frazier back out to Chacon. Puts it on the floor. Back over to Frazier. 15-footer, no good. Rebound, Adam Scott.
Who else?
Who else? Great Scott to the rescue.
You assume there are 3 possessions left in this ball game based on the time. ONU could possibly have 2 of them. But they get a timeout here with about 1:16.
18 seconds on the shot clock.
See, now my question is for you, if you're Neil Young, what do you plan? Do you plan 2 for 1 here? Like I was saying, I think there are 3 possessions left based on the timing. Do you play your 2 best plays and try to figure out what they're going to do, or just worry about mainly this 1 possession?
I think you go with scheduling or planning 2 plays, go with it. It'll be interesting here because obviously throughout this day, as you said earlier, John Carroll's going to know once Napier gets the basketball what they're going to do, because they've got that down pat. So it's a matter of, is it there or is it maybe a landed long shot?
There you see a very relaxed group of young ladies set to defend their home court here in just a little bit. But it's a tremendous atmosphere. You kind of wonder maybe that'll play into it. It's got to be loud to the point where you can't really hear anything on the floor. So you have to make sure whatever 5 guys you send out, that they are all completely on the same page.
You know, when you look at, you mentioned the crowd, we have a very large crowd here this afternoon.
Northern typically plays in front of about 200.
Student section just about full, and then behind us, the larger section is very well attended as well. Let's get back to basketball. 18 seconds on the shot clock. 1:14 now on.
This has got to be your best play. It's either got to go to, I would think, Miller or Napier.
Burner with the basketball. Scott out front. Shot clock at 4. Scott. Shot doesn't go. Napier, he'll throw it back in. Scramble for it. Scott has it. And it's going to be Ohio Northern ball as Eller, I believe they said he pushed him out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Foul will go against Luca Eller.
I cannot repeat anything of what's being said next to me right now. The official walked in, he told coach to get off the floor, and he said, "What's up?"
Scott will go to the line.
Scott missed the free throw. Coach Brand, you could hear that conversation, was trying to explain, could you tell me what happened? He said he was going for the ball and he absorbed the contact. He said, "Sir, he was laying out of bounds. How could he have gotten fouled?" And he said, "No, he wasn't," and just walked away.
Scott with the free throw for the lead. There it is. Northern has a 1-point lead. Chacon with the basketball. Rayner. Clock coming up on 45. Shot clock at 18. Siontek. He wants to work on Burner. Walked.
He walked.
Took the step, and Burner's going to be called with a foul.
Here's a chicken. Here's an egg. Which one of these things happens first?
So Siontek will step to the free throw line.
See, now you've changed the metric again, too, on the timing, because ONU changed it on that rebound to keep it alive. They ran some extra time, but however this turns out.
Siontek 61% on the season at the line. Misses that one as Landon Long will come back into the lineup for Ohio Northern.
This is crazy. The number 6 team in the country right now looking for a tie.
We are tied. 36 seconds left. Eller will come in. You ready for pandemonium?
Oh my goodness. Because look at the differential at 6.1 seconds. See if that comes into play.
Seen this a few times here this afternoon.
Was that not a walk?
Not today.
There's a slipping spot on the floor. I'm glad he didn't throw that at me.
Long with the basketball. Napier with it. Shot clock, 14 seconds. They clear out to the left side. Long is out behind the arc. Napier into the lane. It doesn't go. Rebound. It's
looked like Burner had
jump ball.
Possession, John Carroll.
Ohio Northern, I believe.
They're all walking the other way.
John Carroll will take the timeout. We'll keep it right here.
If we have it, I'd like to see the replay of this last set Northern just ran, because it seemed to me that when C.J. Napier made his move to come to the middle of the lane, that it would, first of all, it was clogged. Second, with that shot clock kind of in his favor, he'd have 12, 13, 14 seconds. It maybe thought he got a good look and just kind of tried to force one up there, hoping it would fall in.
Let's see what it looks like.
There's Scott with Napier. Again, that's the slip that maybe thought was going to be the foul or the travel on the other side. It looked worse in live action, but Miller creates. He goes over to Long. Long doesn't see anything. All right, let's work, see what CJ does. We got about 25 seconds at this point. Nearly lost it. Now, right there, he gets in the middle of the lane, and there's 5 guys standing in there. He tried a move that had worked for him before, but just, of course, would not fall down.
Could have easily called a bump there, too. There you see the Ohio Northern University huddle. And John Carroll will have the basketball.
Both coaches are going to have a fascinating conversation after this.
Here we go. Chacon with the basketball. Clock, Chacon for 3, no good. And that's going to be it. We're going to go to overtime. OT number 1 coming up. Our score, Ohio Northern 77, John Carroll 77. You're watching college basketball on NKTelco Sports.
At Four Seasons Drive-Thru, we have the coolest beverages in town and specials to satisfy all appetites.
Check out our Facebook page for all the details and times of Roundy's Pies. Get this great pizza by the slice or take home a whole pie. And don't forget his spectacular subs.
At Four Seasons Drive-Thru, we have all the supplies you need for game day celebrations.
Four Seasons Drive-Thru, 205 North Main Street in Ada. Great drinks, great food, wonderful service, and amazing prices.
Go Bears!
Back here at Ohio Northern, it's overtime. As Ohio Northern trying to knock off a nationally ranked team, and John Carroll and the leader. There we go. There's all the seniors. Signs for them.
I'm really surprised that they let this substitution happen, because Luke Eller came in, and he wasn't in the original 5 that came up off the bench. I thought you had to declare, I could be wrong, but I thought you had to declare before that. And the official, one official wasn't going to let him in. The other did, because he's the guy who's going to jump center. What an atmosphere, though.
Oh, it's great. Eller, Burner, Ohio Northern wins the jump.
On the way back down. This is an important possession. Your first 2 here in overtime. You feel you maybe get 5 or 6. You got to score in your first if you're Northern.
Miller back over to Scott. Long over to the right side. Napier over to the left. Eller on him. Scott.
See, that's a move now with CJ that pretty much John Carroll's selling out, that if he doesn't take the first shot on his pull-up, on his fakes, he's not going to do it. He's going to drive.
Frazier goes inside, back out to Chacon to the corner. There's Toppin. Shot does not go. Burner with Maybe his biggest rebound of the afternoon.
But why does Chacon not take that? He's wide open going down the lane. And John Carroll, if they lose, there are at least 3 times I can think of that they've had an easy layup, and they've given it up for the ability to try to get up by 3.
Long will take it to the hoop and draw the foul.
Chacon just stepped over him. Like he's playing for the Lakers. It's a Tyronn Lue thing.
3:59 to go on that John and Tony's Restaurant scoreboard.
36 of 45 on the year for Landon Long. He hit 2 for 2 back in the first.
Northern regains the lead. He's got 15.
Long with one more shot.
It's so quiet.
Second free throw, not there.
Except for that pterodactyl that they let loose in here.
1 point difference.
But see, for my money, ONU's going to more of a zone look to try to quell that 3. They go inside to Rayner, who gets 2 in the lead, but I think Chacon can make a living if he just starts driving.
John Carroll's lead with 1 point. 79-78 Miller. Napier looks for Scott. Scott cut off by Rayner.
There has to be somebody else with the 2 of those guys on that side.
Scott to the baseline, puts it up and in. What a timely move by Adam Scott, and Ohio Northern regains the lead.
Good move by him, and we've seen that reverse layup work for him about 80% of the time this year.
Jontek working against Burner.
Good Lord.
Players are going to decide this one, it looks like.
That's what you want.
Long will bring it across the timeline. Miller, Burner, Scott. Shot clock at 15. Whistle, and a foul on Rayner. That is his 4th. It's priceless, Michael. Reaction on the John Carroll bench is priceless.
If you can't have fun at work.
Bell will come in. Long will go out. 2:40 on the clock. Napier going for point number 30. He has it. And Ohio Northern has regained the lead.
I gotta wipe the tears away from laughing.
Back and forth we go. Inside Chacon, there it is, just what you wanted, Michael.
Oh, it's not what I wanted, it's just what I thought.
What was open,
we're going to be open. He's been open like that on nearly every time.
John Carroll gets the 1 point lead.
That's the problem with that zone, though. If you have a guy who could streak through there like that.
Napier lost his handle on it as he went up. Here comes John Carroll. Chacon. Back out to Frazier.
About 5 possessions, I would think, left in this ball game, barring something crazy.
Chacon looks away, and there's the pass to Jontek. Timeout, Ohio Northern.
He's so good without the basketball.
That was a beautiful pass. Looks one way, throws it the other. 3 point lead for John Carroll, 85-82. It's going to be a full timeout. We'll take a break as well. John Carroll, 85, Ohio Northern, 82. You're watching college basketball on NKTelco Sports.
Households are using more connected devices than ever before. TVs are streaming, smartphones are browsing, security cameras are watching, and virtual assistants are, well, assisting.
You'll need an umbrella today.
As you add more devices, we are constantly improving our technology to deliver the fastest and most reliable internet to your home. So make sure you have enough bandwidth. Get NKTelco high-speed internet with speeds up to 1 gig. Call 1-888-NKTelco today.
Ohio Northern coach Neil Young plotting the strategy here. 1:50 to go. Team down by 3 with this possession. What do you think he'll do? Michael?
Well, what I think he'll do and what I would maybe do are probably two different things. He knows his team, 9-13 on the year, 5-10, fighting for an OAC berth. He's got two shooters on the floor that he's not really trying to play together for the most part tonight in Long and Bell, but he's got a long set of arms with Napier down on the opposite side, not moving with the basketball. I think it's got to be Landon Long here, to be honest with you. He was so hot early on.
Let's see what happens. Bell has it, now Long. Back over Napier. Shot clock coming up on 15 seconds. Bell underneath the baseline, comes back out and around. Minute 30 to play. Scott going inside. Shot blocked. Yontek will come up with it, and John Carroll has the basketball with 1:19 to go.
But again, John Carroll is selling out underneath where they're just kind of leaving the straggler of waiting for either CJ or Adam Scott to drive. You got to create it from somewhere else.
Chacon, Bell with the reach. Stops the clock with 1:02 to go, and Chacon will go to the line.
It's a kid that just really doesn't miss from anywhere. 5 assists a game, 15 points a game, at 23 points a game for Bob Krasancic in high school at Mentor, and he hit shots just like that in the tournament.
84% free throw shooter coming into today's game. He connects, and John Carroll's lead is at 4 points. Miller back in, second free throw good, the lead at 5.
You don't have to get the 3. You got to get 5, but you don't have to have the 3 right now. You can get the 2 if you're Northern.
Bell. Miller. He'll shoot the 3. It's short, and the rebound comes down to Yontek. Foul in the backcourt.
It's a hard possession because I see it from behind Bell that he split the C over there going to the low block. Maybe could have gotten to the rim, kind of settled for a 3, and it looked like Miller doesn't have enough left in his legs.
Chacon will connect.
You might as well figure he's going to ice this one. 3 of 3 in the ball game. I am more curious to know how they held him to 10 and 5 the first time they played.
Second free throw also good. He's got 17, does Luke Chacon.
Because he may be one of the best players I've seen play here this year.
Bell across the timeline. Burner comes out. Northern needs the 3. Napier will shoot it. Off target, tipped away. Long has it. 28 seconds. They'll go inside. Napier puts it up and in. Timeout, Ohio Northern. 25 seconds left to go. 5-point difference in this one. Napier at 32 points, Michael.
Yeah, but it's kind of one of those things where that one doesn't necessarily mean anything. With the way that the game is going, he's almost doubled his production on the year, but you need to force a 5 or a 10-second call here. But the problem with that is the 10-second call still gives you only 15 seconds left in the game. If you force the inbound, put maybe Burner on the inbounder, force the 10-second call, or the 5-second call rather, it doesn't cost you anything on the scoreboard in terms of time that ticks off.
Comes down to this defensive possession. 25 seconds left. Well, you look at that John Carroll scoreboard, and there's 5 players in double figures. Balance, and then more balance.
Yeah,
that is an amazing statistic.
Exactly what you want, especially out of a team that averages 81 points a game. Well, they eventually got there. Remember, at the half, they trailed by 8 at 44-36.
25.3 seconds remain in this one on the John and Tony's Restaurant scoreboard.
I believe that this is C.J. Napier's career high.
32 is where we stand.
Against Muskingum last year.
John Carroll with the inbound pass. Chacon, and fouled immediately by Bell.
not the guy that you want to have to foul, but you pretty much have to live with the devil you know. That's 5 on Ethan Bell.
Interesting to note that Chacon also has 10 assists. What a balanced effort. 17 points.
10 assists. And it doesn't surprise me either, because I talked about earlier on about finding a hole in that zone. He has 4 rebounds to go along with it. But he's so good. He creates, he's like a magician, like a little Houdini, because it gets you looking one way, and all of a sudden, whoop, there's 2 more points on the other side.
Free throw, rolls home.
He's 5 of 5 in overtime.
Second free throw. A bit short. Toppin, what to be called for on the back, I do believe, which is a break with a 6-point difference.
Northern fans tweeting me right now saying, you didn't jinx him earlier? Well, it didn't work earlier.
Burner will come in.
He's going to come in for Napier after he shoots here. It's in an odd situation if you're Northern. But what a battle.
Battle Royale here on a Saturday afternoon at Ohio Northern. Napier connects. He goes to 33 in the afternoon, 5-point difference.
That is, by the way, his career high. Second to last time he'll play on this floor.
Second free throw also good. 4-point difference. Burner will come in. One more substitute. Connor O'Toole back into the lineup.
Now, he hasn't played in a while. I don't think he's played yet in this half.
O'Toole will inbound it.
He turned and looked. Chacon wasn't open. He said, you got those timeouts left? Can I have one?
23.7 seconds, 4-point difference. Full timeouts. So let's remind everybody that tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: John and Tony's Restaurant, Four Seasons Drive-Thru, Jalapenos Mexican Grill, whatever cards and games, and NKTelco. I'll bring you today's game from Ohio Northern University. Replays of this afternoon's contest will be shown on NKTelco Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503. Tuesday, March the 7th at 9 p.m. and Saturday, March the 11th at 6 p.m. And you can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports.
I said this earlier on about head coach Pete Moran, 89 and 51 in his 6th season. His brothers, Pat and Matt, are part of his coaching staff. And to watch them when he comes off, they don't always agree on things. And I have a brother, and I maybe get into quabbles with my brother, but I don't have a potential OAC title on the line. And to watch their last set of interactions, it was kind of the look of, it's still my program. Thank you for your input, but maybe not.
It's my call.
Yeah.
And here comes the inbounds pass.
That's an offensive foul they missed.
And the backcourt foul. And Coach Neil Young just would like to have that called.
Can you imagine what that would have done if they had called it the other way on the shove against Chacon? And you can't break this kid, because every time he walks up there, just flings one up and in, but he's building a small army at the line that he just doesn't seem to get rattled about anything. He just, all right, they fouled him, walks his way to the end of the floor.
Chacon going for point number 20. A little bit short. Scott with a rebound. 5-point difference. Clock at 18 seconds. Miller for 3. Got it.
Seriously?
2-point game and a foul. 13.4 seconds left. And John Carroll will go to the line, and Toppin
Now, LW Heckman Gymnasium in Audubon is not close to here. Will Miller had well over 1,000 points in his career, but I'm pretty sure he threw that one up as a senior at some point for Keith Udendorf, and it just now landed, because that was, that had to be 3 or 4 feet behind the line. They don't know who the foul was on.
They've got it on. Higgins comes in.
Toppin 21 of 33.
Goes out.
Last time he scored, he gave his team a 76-74 advantage.
Toppin with the free throw. He connects. Here comes the big free throw. Toppin with 16. It rolls home, and the lead goes back to 4. Miller for 3, in and out. Battle for the board. It goes to John Carroll.
That's a hard one. It looked good.
Boy, that was in and then back out.
That's that Duke Butler shot in the championship game the one year where it went halfway down and rolled back out. And I'll tell you what, you want to talk about the guts of Will Miller and the belief that he has in himself. I think that shot right there kind of proves it.
Foul with 2.9 seconds. Long will have the call.
You know, Ohio Northern might not win this ball game, and the analytics have it at about 98% that John Carroll is going to win this game. But I mean, you can't say enough about Neil Young's crew. They come in, the number 6 team in the country punches them in the mouth. They go the first 13 points on each side. They hit 4 for 4 from behind the arc. They make these runs. They have an 8-point lead at the half. Free throw up and down. But these are the kind of games that they will win in a couple of years. Maybe not necessarily this game, but the type of games in that they're punchers games. It's coming. You can see it. This team's gotten much better during the course of the last couple of weeks, despite the losses.
Toppin will connect. Carson Conley will come in.
How can there be a timeout with the ball already in the air?
Carson Conley for Landon Long, also in number 14,
95-89, 6-point difference. 3.1 seconds to go.
3 seconds. But shout out to that senior class, by the way. Hayden Hansen, the freshman, trying to check in for Michael Berner. He sort of turned and said, hey guys, are we doing this? We're giving them all, you know, a chance to get their signs. Bryce Stewart.
Seniors get a nice ovation as they go off the floor. Even Coach Pete Moran gives TJ Napier a round of applause.
He's got to be happy to see him come off the floor.
Exactly.
He said, I know I only have 3.1 seconds left, but can we get rid of that kid?
95-89, our score.
The unfortunate thing is this will more than likely take the bite out of Ohio Northern's chance to make the OAC tournament.
It's going to be it. 95-89, our final. John Carroll with the win over Ohio Northern.
CJ Napier with a career high 34 points, but it's not enough as John Carroll puts away a massive performance, an 18-point quarter, or an 18-point overtime run. John Carroll wins here on Northern Senior Day as we get ready to talk to Coach Young. His team played well, just unfortunately not well enough as he comes back through the line. The Bears have got one more here at home. They'll take on Heidelberg on Wednesday before they finish up their season at Muskingum on a Saturday afternoon. Next week, the women are going to play here in just about half an hour. But a long walk for Coach Young to talk about this ball game.
Say we're with Ohio Northern University coach Neil Young. Tough overtime loss. As you look at the performance of your team, it had to be gratifying even though you didn't get the W.
Yeah, I mean, our guys played well, you know, played really hard, did a lot of good things. They're just good, you know, they're good and they're deep. You know, they're winning this league for a reason. I thought they just wore us down.
the 5 seniors that you played, especially C.J. Napier and all of the others. Quite an afternoon for them, even though they came up a little bit short.
Yeah, I mean, in games like this, you need your best players to step up, and I thought our guys did that. You know, we played well. You know, I thought they came in here and won the game more than we lost it.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. John Carroll comes away with an overtime win over Ohio Northern. You're watching college basketball on NKTelco Sports.
Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County has a job for you. Grand Lake Health System has over 800 employees. Included is Joint Township District Memorial Hospital and multiple physician practices. And we're now hiring a variety of positions that fit all education and skill levels. Plus, you'll get a great benefit package offered to both full and part-time workers. Join this rewarding career and help your community in the process. Contact Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County for all your employment needs.
Nareda Lanes in Ada offers men's league bowls on Mondays and Wednesday evenings, women's league bowls on Thursday evenings, couples bowls on Friday evenings, kids bowl on Saturday mornings from December through March, Scotch mixed double bowls on the last Saturday of every month, open bowling on Saturday evening, Saturday afternoon reserve the bowling alley for children's birthday parties, and on Sunday, lanes are available to reserve for birthdays of any age as well as for group events. Check out NaredaLanes.com for more info.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
John Carroll comes away with the overtime win against Ohio Northern in men's basketball here in the OAC. Boy, just a tough loss for Ohio Northern. And let's take a look at our final numbers.
67 points, by the way, coming from the senior class today in their second to last go-around on this floor. Northern shoots 10 of 19 from 3, which is good enough to win most games. Unfortunately for them, they shoot 31 of 58 overall, 17 of 24 from the line, kind of helped in their undoing. John Carroll in the overtime period specifically had Luke Chacon, who went 6 of 8 from the line. Chase Toppin hit 4 in a row. I mean, teams hit 10 out of 12 in overtime. You might not be feeling pretty good about yourself, but rebounds are even. Just too many turnovers, and they came at inopportune times for the Bears.
Yeah, 15 turnovers to 6 for John Carroll. Yep, definitely the big number. John Carroll moves to 21-2 and 15-1 in OAC play. Ohio Northern falls to 9-14 and 5-11. Of course, John Carroll on the march to winning a regular season OAC championship, as they'll continue that as you see the seniors who were featured in pregame ceremonies here earlier today at Ohio Northern University as they wrap up their careers here for the Polar Bears. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors for tonight's contest. John and Tony's Restaurant, Four Seasons Drive-Thru, Jalapenos Mexican Grill, Whatever Cards and Games at NKTelco. Additional sponsors, Whatever Cards and Games, Four Seasons Drive-Thru, and Jalapenos Mexican Grill with locations in Ada and Shawnee. Northwest Ohio Liquidations, Holiday Inn Express in Wapakoneta. Replays of this afternoon's men's contest will be on NKTelco Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503, Tuesday, March 7th at 9 p.m. and Saturday, March the 11th at 6 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. I'd like to thank our crew here this afternoon on the cameras, Mark Thistle, Paul Downing, and Josh Miller. Our assistant director, James Miller, and our director here today, Scott Robinson. I'm Dave Helmstetter, and with me, Michael Hearn. Once again, from the Ohio Northern University Sports Center, the final score, John Carroll 95, Ohio Northern 89. You have been watching college basketball on NKTelco Sports.